Joining us now is Curt Lawson, Deputy Police Chief of the West Bloomfield Township Police Department. Curt, good to see you. It's been a while. Thank you for joining us this morning on our new revamped version of the Splash Live.
Well, it's certainly always a pleasure to be with you, Dave.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you being here. So in driving by the police department, if you didn't know there was construction going on before, it's evident as you pull into the town hall complex. A lot going on. Can you give us an update on how your construction project is going?
Well, we're in full swing. There's no doubt about that. We're wrapping up phase one. Everything in phase one is complete except for our communications center, which is about 80% complete. We have two of our dispatch consoles up and running and two more to go, but it looks really good. We're really happy with our progress. We're on schedule and we're starting the demolition of phase two. And phase two just happens to be the lobby, the front desk, an expansion of our training room, an expansion of administration. So our residents will see when they come to the station, like you mentioned, that there is just a whole lot of activity. And our front desk area is actually closed, but we have an alternate location behind the station and plenty of signs for everyone to know where to go and where they can get great service.
All right, Curt, anyone who's done a kitchen remodel at their home knows anytime you got a little construction going on, it's always inconvenient, but when the project is done, it's always well worth it. What kind of challenges are you having right now? Servicing people, you mentioned your lobby, you've got some modifications and temporary accommodations. What kind of challenges are you having right now in delivering the services that are so critical to the community?
Well, one of the challenges I think that we all thought we were going to have was, our officers, right? They don't always like change. And this is such a major change and really kind of an inconvenience for them, but they've been fantastic. They've been kind of going with the flow. And there's been so much pre-planning done by the team here at the police department with our IT partners that really things have gone very smoothly. And we haven't had a lot of inconvenience. It's just, we're in tight quarters. I'm sharing an office with someone else and others are as well. So we just have to kind of go with the flow. But like I said, we are on budget, we're on schedule, and that's kind of unheard of in this day and age. So we're really happy with the progress.
Well, listen, you got a lot of work to do because they've done a great job just down the road at Orchard Lake with their new facility. We got a tour of that, and it's completed. They've still got some landscaping and finishing touches to do, but your improvement as well. And I noticed in touring both of your facilities before and during the construction that policing has changed, the gender of officers have changed, the way you guys do things with technology is changing, and just talk about that a little bit and how that was really a driving force behind the need and necessity for this update.
Well, like we've talked about before, the station was built in 1991, and not much has been done to it since. So as far as technology, the department has grown twice the size since then. So there is a lot of things that we need to do to be competitive with other police departments, other communities, because we want to attract talent. The biggest thing that we're doing is our new communications center, which I mentioned earlier. It's going to be a state-of-the-art communications center, a large video wall, fantastic consoles for our people to do their job, and we're super excited about it. And that incorporates all the latest technology that's going to make this department state-of-the-art.
And I assume I'm not going to be able to come over and watch a Lions game on Sunday on that big video wall. You're going to be using it for other more important things.
We will certainly discuss that off the camera.
All right. Well, we look forward to getting a complete tour when you get everything done. It's good to see you. Just briefly, yesterday we had a pretty significant line of thunderstorms come through. Do you guys watch the weather, and when you see these things happening, make extra preparations knowing there's going to be down power lines and the community and other things, and the community is going to be affected?
Well, that's one of the things that our new communications center does, and that's where this video walls kind of incorporates. We're able to watch multiple different media sites, obviously the Weather Channel. We knew that storm was coming. We were able to up staff to make sure that we had enough people working. The fire department knew that it was coming. We're all on the same page. So, we did have a line of storms that came through. It was a short period of time. But we were relatively busy. We had trees down, we had some power outages, but it's nothing that we couldn't handle.
And I've been really impressed with the way the citizens in our area have been dealing with all the construction across the entire region and the township, but in particular the construction that is primarily outside of West Bloomfield Township, but still right on the edge of your jurisdiction up in Kego and Sylvan, and with the closing of Commerce Road and half of Orchard Lake Road, it was really a mess the first couple days, but people kind of figured it out. And as I've looked at the area on the ground and in the air during this construction, especially during non-peak hours, people seem to be able to be moving around, getting to the businesses they need to get to, and getting things done and dealing with the construction pretty well. It's just I just want to salute the citizens for paying attention and doing their best to make it all work.
I think you're right. We haven't had a lot of complaints as far as, any road rage related to the construction, but the key is patience, right? And we are seeing some of our residents and commuters, they're cutting through different subdivisions. We've been putting extra patrols up there to deter that. So we've had some issues, but like you said, overall, it has not been a major problem for us. But I think people are starting to get used to the construction. There's so much construction going on throughout the state, and it's really long overdue.
Yeah.
So it needed to be done.
Yeah, well, as the governor said, we needed to fix the damn roads, and we do, but it's so inconvenient. 696 on the south side of West Bloomfield, Kegel Harbor, Orchard Lake construction on the north side, and I know just from running out to Walled Lake the other day, you got to be pretty careful which mile roads you pick to make sure that you're going to be able to get to and fro, and just a little bit of research and maybe one of those apps that we all have makes things a little bit easier. Finally, Curt, major sea change for Michigan drivers, and that is a new law that said do not touch the darn cell phone when you're in your car. Don't text, don't use it for dialing and making calls. It's now a primary offense. How's that going, and how are motorists responding to adjusting to a new law?
So what I've seen when I come to and from work or I'm out and about is a lot less people on their phones, which I think is fantastic. I think anyone that's out driving a car and they're looking around at the person next to them or in front, everyone is on their phones, they're doing their makeup, they're distracted, they're not paying attention to what's going on around them. I think this law has helped deter that sort of activity. So I'm a fan of the law. I don't think our officers have had to go out and do a lot of enforcement. I think people are, they're paying attention to the law. They're obeying the law for the most part, which I think is a positive.
All right, good. Well, you listen, you brought up the makeup thing. I didn't bring up the makeup thing. So if I make an inappropriate comment, like maybe we should have a no makeup while you're driving law as well. But we'll leave that for another day. But I know the law is about phones, but there are a lot of other things you could be doing in your car that would distract you from your primary function. 9 and 3 or 10 and 2, depending on whatever era you grew up in, and just focus on driving. Your life will be a lot better. You'll get to where you want to get to. So
I couldn't agree more.
All right. Well, Curt, thank you. All right,
well,
thank
thanks
you.
for having
Good
me.
to see you, and I'm sure we'll be chatting again real soon. Curt Lawson checking in this morning from the West Bloomfield Police Department. And Tyler, exciting news with that big construction project going on, and it was a much needed, well overdue effort there in West Bloomfield Township Hall. Good to see that that's moving forward.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, 32 years that police headquarters has been operating as it has been, and it's been functioning perfectly fine for the police department, but having the influx of funding coming from public safety millages and from the township continuing to be very supportive of the police and the fire department and EMS officials in our local area. Much needed upgrades, as you said. Another key part of that is upgrading the facility so that officers of different genders are able to safely and securely get themselves prepared for the day, have the proper facilities in place. But even beyond that, Dave, a huge part of this that Curt did mention was the technological components of it, particularly for dispatch, as this is one of the big hubs in Oakland County for dispatch, especially for our 4 communities.
Well, certainly, yeah. West Bloomfield dispatches Kego and Sylvan and Orchard Lake to some extent as well. So, absolutely very important, and it's going to be great to get in there. And I love technology. It'll be fun to go in there, walk through it again. We got the before video that Curt and I shot, and as soon as they're done, we'll do the after video and share with the community what's going on inside a building that you hope to never have to be inside of, other than watching it on TV.